That nigga Charleston White's baby.
What's up with it? We live, man. What's going on, man? Real Inglewood moments in the house with the homie Buddy Loco and the
What's
homegirl
happening?
Tiffany. With a park girl. We gotta say park girl now. Shit, yo. Don't cuss me out, Tiffany, and them, cause
Damn,
I'm tripping.
don't cuss me out. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling people the
motherfucker.
government and shit and
That's
That
vibe.
just my
motherfucker.
that's just my internet name, so it is what it is.
Okay, yeah,
What? Which one?
Part girl.
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, man. Welcome to the show, man. Tonight we are talking about mental health. You know, we got
Mental health.
situation going on with Romeo and his father, Mr. P. Miller. You know what I'm
Uh
saying?
huh.
You know, they got some situations going on with Romeo coming out, airing everything out. You know what I'm saying? Letting his pops know that he broke him off with his money, he need his money, and all that, man. I heard they even got into a little scuffle. They said they're going to have to do some shooting and shit. I don't know if that's true. I'm lying, man. Don't give me the line.
Damn, it done went that goddamn far.
No, man, it ain't went that far. I hope it never go to that with
Oh,
no father and son. You know what I'm saying? But man, let's get it cracking though, man. You know what I'm saying? Mental health, man. What y'all know about that mental health? Now, Tiffany, you started off because I know you know a lot about mental health and you deal with mental health on a daily. You know what I'm saying? So you know, let's roll with that. Let's talk about
Basically, mental health is a stigma in the black community. We black people always want to sweep shit under the rug and say what happens in my house stays in this house. That's why back in the days your uncles was touching on your nieces and the daughters and everything else. They couldn't say nothing. The mother swept it under the rug and all kind of different things. First, let's start off with Romeo and his dad, Master P. Basically, everybody see it two ways. I'm gonna play devil advocate the whole night tonight.
it.
Number one was he wrong for airing out his laundry like that on the internet? Yes and no. The reason why I say yes is because he could have came at his father at a different angle, in a different way, and everything else. But in today's times, these kids, that's the first place they run to is the internet. And when you start seeing stuff like that, that's when you need to say something because the simple fact is they're crying out for help. If you see, I don't know, I should have pulled it up, but I can't even think about it. It's a couple of kids that committed suicide on live, and everything else because they had a problem. And what we need to do is talk about it, say something, get help. Trust me, I go through a therapist every 2 weeks. I go through it. I'm not gonna say I'm a single mom. I'm raising two kids in my home, an 18-year-old, a 15-year-old. I got a spouse on top of going to work every day, trying to hold a household together, trying to balance everything out and everything else. I get overwhelmed. I
Mm,
get a lot of stuff that goes on. I never seem to have me time. This is like my me time right here. I tell everybody I do a podcast with my homies every Monday. Y'all gonna have to go all over the house, do something, whatever, and I do me. You know what I'm saying? When I go get my hair and my nails done, that's my me time. I have to learn how to give myself me time because I'm always catering to everybody else, not just my household, the world too, that I don't have time for me. So I go through a therapist. It took me a long time to actually start doing this therapist stuff, but I had to realize I'm a fucked up individual. It's no shame in my game. I've been through a lot in life between the
okay.
streets.
So when you go and see this therapist, what is some? Oh, sorry about that. What is some of the things that you guys talk about?
Well, I go to two therapists, one for me for myself and one for me as a family. When
Uh
I go
huh.
for myself, I talk about me and my feelings, what I'm
Right.
going through, what I need
Right.
to work on, my stuff. When I go with my kid, well, I haven't started with the kids yet. We're gonna start at the beginning of the year. When I go to that session, it's gonna be about me, my family. It's two different things.
Right.
I went to a therapist before this because it was some stuff that I didn't want to deal with from the past. Yeah, I know I had a baby that died by droop. I didn't want to deal with that. I blame myself for that. Plus, the things that I went through when I was in the streets doing what I was doing, plus the prison shit and everything else. I didn't want to face the fact of a lot of shit that I've been holding on to. So I finally dumped it. And I'm learning once I dumped it, it's helping me to be a better person within self and everything else. Don't get me wrong. I still have a certain mentality when it comes to dealing with things in life. Like, once you're a street person, you're a street person. But I know how to control shit a little different now instead of just popping off. Like, you feel what
Right.
I'm saying?
Hey, look. So what do you remember? What age, like, you know what I'm saying, that you knew that you needed to see a psychiatrist? That you know the mental was affecting you
When I got, I'm grown. I'm
once you
grown.
got home?
Yeah, once I'm grown. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
All that? Was it because of the kids you started tripping? You know, because I know women that had their first babies. You know, they got to stay up all night, deal with the
No,
situation,
no, 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 no,
all
no,
night,
no.
doing nothing. They want to do some things.
I'm okay. I'm gonna put it to you like this. After my first child passed away, I did kind of lose my mind. It was all a blur. You know what I'm saying? You got to remember that was my first baby. He died on my chest, and I didn't want to deal with a lot of that. I carried my son casket. I was in a domestic violence situation. I was going through a lot. You feel what I'm saying? So I suppressed, I suppressed, I suppressed, I suppressed, I suppressed. You feel what I'm saying? And everything else. Then after that, I started having more kids. But then after that, I went to prison. Then after that, it was always shit on top of shit on top of shit on top of shit until I realized in my 40s, like, bitch, you got to eventually let go of all this shit and get your life, and clear some of this bullshit out the way and everything else. Because I can this is my thing. I like to help people. I feed the homeless. I do this. If somebody's in need, I'm helping. I'm helping. I'm helping. But that was a defense mechanism for me, so I wouldn't have to deal with my shit. I'd rather help somebody else with their bullshit instead of dealing with my shit. So now I'm dealing with my shit on top of still helping other people deal with their shit.
Have you ever felt try to find like a mechanism to deal with that, like maybe cocaine or drugs or
Yeah,
weed
I
or
went to no,
alcohol?
I went to drugs for a while after my first son died. Nigga,
Yeah,
I was fucked up for a long time. For a
yeah,
fucking long time because you got to remember when see you guys are male, so you wouldn't know. After you carry a baby for 9 months, push it
yeah,
out. Yeah. Hold on. You push it out, everything else, and then all of a sudden he passes away. That's going to do something to your mental.
yeah. Because of the connection you form with the baby, the 9 months of labor.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So yeah, I use that as defense mechanism and everything else.
Hmm.
Then you got to remember I was in domestic violence situations. You feel
Uh
what I'm
huh.
saying? Yeah. Oh no, y'all wasn't around when me and Drew was doing the stupid shit that we was doing. Like
So so you had to cope with not only the death, then you had to cope with having an addiction, and then you had to cope with being in prison, and then you had to cope with, on top of that, just the everyday stress of life
plus domestic violence.
plus
So yeah,
domestic violence
huh?
plus the domestic violence.
Yeah. So I've been. Listen, I tell a lot of people, I might play, I might fuck with y'all, I might joke, I might do, but I've been through some shit. I've learned from some shit, and what I want people to know is reading is the key to everything. You
Uh-huh.
can learn a lot of information just by reading. Just by reading. A lot of stuff that I got, but a lot of stuff that I learned by off the top of reading. I read a lot of books and everything else, but I got a degree. Let's see if you can see the picture. You see it? I graduated in 2013 when I got out of prison for mental and psychology
Yeah.
because I knew this was something that I wanted to do. I have a special population that I like to work with, either the TAY, which is kids between the ages of 18 and 25, and I like to work with the homeless people. Those are the two most popular things that I like to work with because those are people that are considered lost cause. And
Yeah.
at once upon a time, I was a lost cause. You feel what I'm saying? But if
Right.
I know I can do it with this, with a support system, with the different things that they have out here and everything else, I know I can, I know that I can, if I can do it, somebody else can do it. But you have to want it in order to keep it. Like I used to tell one of the homegirls all the time, my nigga, I can get you to wherever you want to be. But if I do all the work for you, you won't be able to stay at the top because I did the work for you. You don't know what to do once you get to the top.
Right. That's true. So like
let's-
another, like with my, go ahead.
We got some questions going on in here, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to get the people involved, man. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that.
Go ahead and
B-Rat.
talk real quick. Let me go check on my.
I understand, B-Rat, but you the only one that can see the questions.
They on the board right now. Good evening, Golden Goddess.
Yeah, that's the only one we see, sir.
There's one right there for you from Mr. Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Talk to
I
him.
used to be like that, telling the ladies how to do things, and I don't know what that is. They sell and not fall into this, and when the same time didn't follow my own advice. That's true. So let me tell you one thing about myself, right? It's like my way of coping with a lot of mental problems that I go with is I like to laugh. I like to laugh. I don't condone drugs. I don't do drugs or anything. Anybody that hang around me, they know I like sugar and I like to laugh. I eat a honey bun and a Gatorade for dinner sometimes. I get a sugar rush. I get a sugar high or whatever. I don't do drugs. But the way that I cope with a lot of the stress and anger and stuff like that is I like to laugh. Laughter cures me a lot of time. And another thing about myself, when she was like feed the homeless and stuff like that, a lot of people don't know. I don't even know if you know this, B-Rat. I was homeless for 3 days one time. Did you know that?
You was homeless for 3 days?
I was homeless for 3 days.
Well,
when my mom,
how the fuck was I gonna know you was homeless for 3 days? For 3 days, man.
For 3 days. That's all it took for me. That's all it took. Look, when my mom passed, right? We was hanging out over Gwen house, and then that's when that shooting happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
My pops was there. So when that shooting happened, it was right in front of my pops. My pops said, "Listen, check this out. I'm not gonna raise your 2 little brothers in the streets of Inglewood like this. I'm taking your 2 little brothers and I'm moving to Arkansas." And he asked me whether I'm going, and I told him no. I love the hood. I'm not leaving the hood. And my pops left me. He left me. So for 3 days, I slept in the dugout at Morningside for 3 days, bro.
I think you told me this story before, though. I heard.
Yeah, I slept 3 days. And then that's when G-Nut was like, "Hey man, come to Grandma's house." I came to Grandma's house, but Grandma, Mama Page, she didn't like me. At the time, I think 10-8 Talk was living there. But Grandma Page didn't like me. For the next 2 days, I slept in the back seat of that car. So as I got up and got on my feet, that's when we started going back and forth to Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I had to hustle. And I never looked back since then. I never looked back. So here in 2010, now here it is 2010. That happened in like 90.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is 2010. I come out here to Arizona and I'm riding my motorcycle and I go past this park. And the park was just filled with homeless people. It was filled with homeless people. And something on that motorcycle, a lot of people say it was God or whatever, Yahweh, whoever. It said, "Look to your left." And I looked to my left and I seen all homeless people. I said, my first check I'm gonna get from work, I'm gonna go feed all those people in that park. And I swear to God, I did it. I swear to God, I did.
No, that's
So
what's up.
me having to go through what I went through, just being homeless for 3 days, I told myself I'd rather be in prison to be freezing in that dugout like I was.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would rather go to jail where I can get 3 meals in a bed. But just that right there messed with my psyche to where I would say I'm gonna help the less fortunate. I got to, because like she was saying, those are people that need it more than I do. If I get a check and just so happen on that check I get a bonus for $200, I wasn't expecting that $200. I didn't plan nothing to do with that $200. I didn't. Yeah, I know what you finna go get. It wasn't even accounted. That $200 wasn't even accounted for. So it's easy for me to go get $200 worth of hot and ready pizza and some water and some juice to go feed them homeless people. Uh, and that's just something that happened to me back in the days, to where it affected me mentally, to where I don't want to see people like that.
Yeah, no, what did I miss when I stepped away? Because I know some questions being asked and all that other stuff.
No, it was a question being asked, but I was just telling people like the way that I go through with my depression, or when I'm having some anger issues or something, is I like to laugh. My thing is like I laugh. That helps me. I don't go to the drugs. I don't go to the alcohol or nothing like that. If I'm having some anger problems, I'll probably go to the gym and hit the punching bag. But as far as like when I'm depressed or stressed out, I like to laugh. That's my high.
Yeah, but everybody's different. Like some people, they prefer the drugs and the alcohol over the laughness and everything else because their mind frame was not there right there. And I remember you said you slept in your car for 3 days too. I slept in the streets too, but it was by choice, not force. I did it
Yeah.
because I didn't want to be in a house. Like I didn't want no rules, no regulations, none of that bullshit. I just wanted to, like I said, after I lost my first son, I was in
Hmm.
a deep dark side of me, like deep dark side of me. Like I hated God at the time. I was pissed off. I kept asking why, all kind of stuff. And like I said, now that I'm in my 40s, I finally realized it's a reason for everything. At first I didn't understand the reason, but as I got older and I started doing the whole therapy thing and everything else, I understand why my first child was taken from me. You kind of
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So it's kind of
Yeah.
like I said, mental health can be different forms. It's not always about depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenic, and everything else. It's
Right.
other stuff. If y'all ever get a chance, read the DSM-5. So basically, that's the book for mental health, where it tells you about all the different diagnoses. You can look at
Yeah.
one diagnosis, be like, "Fuck, that's what I be going through," but you can't self-diagnose. You just have to look like for the warning signs and how to prepare for them and everything else. I had a college professor. She was paranoid schizophrenic, and that is like the ultimate mental health illness that you're supposed to be on medication, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that, you hear voices, you're paranoid, it's all kind of shit. Do you know she never took a pill a day of her life? She basically went through all the right kind of therapy, therapist. She did everything she could to stay off of medication, and she was a college professor, and she got her PhD with the mental illness. See, a lot of
Hmm.
people feel like, oh, I got depression, I need to take this pill. No, I don't believe in medication unless it's necessary. Because what you fella realize is when you get on the medication, it does something different in your brain. You need so much dopamines and your neurons and your transmitters to work in your. Okay, let me start off like this. Let me use smaller words. Basically, your brain is the. That's Deshauna. Okay, hold on. This is my daughter. Hold on. Oh, because I'm on it right now. You called me, but I was
Yeah.
on.
y'all gotta excuse these the interruptions. But as we talking about today, we are talking about mental health. We are talking about mental health. And it's a lot of forms going on with mental health. Uh and it's not just depression, stress, anxiety, feeling as though you're going crazy. It's a lot of different things going on with mental health. You could be, like she said, you could be a paranoid schizophrenic. You know what I mean? But it's like you said, if you feel as though you may need help, uh there's psychiatrists that can go out there, help mental therapists that can help you. It's just things you shouldn't just not let it go undiagnosed. You should go get checked if you feel as though you should get checked. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, no.
There's nothing.
Let me go.
Now Golden Goddess says she felt depression kick in as an adult, and what else she said? She said as well as anxiety. I never understood when people used to say they had anxiety until it hit me.
Yeah,
I can talk about that anxiety.
yeah.
Okay, but I'm sorry about that. My daughter was at work and she called me and everything else. But back to the medication. I don't believe in a medication because okay, let me backwards. Your brain is the motor to your body. Our brains have so many transmitters, neurons, electricity. Huh?
Nothing. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, baby.
Okay. All this all this stuff like runs your body and everything else, and you have to have so many chemicals released in order to maintain your sanity. So
Right.
when you don't have enough of that, they try to give you a medication to release some of those dopamines and those transmitters and everything else, but it's not the natural way. It's the chemical way, and sometimes them chemicals don't go with other shit that's already in your brain that's doing it naturally. You feel what I'm saying? So that medication sometimes can either harm you or help you. But what people fail to realize is once you on that medication and everything else, you got to keep taking that medication in order to release the natural shit in your body that it needs to be released for those different dependencies and everything else. That's just like what do they keep giving the kids at night now? The little gummies that make them go to sleep. Oh
Melatonin.
yeah, melatonin. That what they're
Yeah.
doing is they're fucking them up. We have melatonin in our body naturally. When you start giving kids that and everything else, it fucks them up as an adult. And then that's when they get adults, they don't sleep, they have these problems and all that other stuff. Give your kid a nice warm bath and some lavender bubble bath, rub them down with some lavender soap, and tuck them in that night and cuddle. You feel what I'm saying? It'll help them go to sleep. But when you're giving it to them at a young age, that's fucking them up. If you notice, a lot of kids nowadays, they ADHD and all this and all that. But if you notice, it's because when the mother is pregnant, they're smoking weed, they're doing this, they're doing that, because the doctor is like, oh, a little of this won't harm, a little of this won't do nothing, and all this other stuff, and that's bullshit.
Right. Right. So
Pills are not good and never was. They always say pills give you some kind of side effects, though, give you something. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying?
so Red. So tell me about some of the things you go through when you have a anxiety attack.
Man, I have anxiety attacks when I'm around a lot of people. We in a store and it's just crowded with a lot of people. I don't know why, man. It just sends my anxiety, you know what I'm saying, tripping. Like I start breaking out in like cold sweats, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? I gotta go sit down somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't feel comfortable. My balance is off, you know what I'm saying? I
Do
just ain't right.
you feel as though like somebody watching you, or like you feel as though it's something about to happen, or
No, I
like
just
what
feel
does
like
it feel like?
clustered. It's too clustered. I don't
Yeah.
like no small spots. You know what I'm saying? It just be too many. Like this Christmas, I went to the store one time, and that one time only. I can't do it no more. I'm cool. I can't be around too many people. They be too close to you. You know, I don't like people all close to me, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you. You know, give me my 6 feet. Back up off me. You're too close. You know what I'm saying? And then it be times too that I have been in my house just chilling and it'll come on. You know what I'm saying? I feel it coming on. You know what I'm saying? I just break out into like a light sweat. You know what I'm saying? Like a cold
Mm.
sweat. You know, and then pretty much what I do is just go lay back and relax and it'll go away. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it's mind over matter. I found that out that I control it. You know what I'm saying now because I know when it comes and what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you that. What triggers the anxiety? Because it's something that's triggering it. What
Right.
happened for you? What was your first anxiety behind?
Shit, when I moved to Las Vegas, everything started going bad. Cars started breaking down, everything. I don't know. Shit.
Yeah,
The
it
first
had to
time I
because
ever felt it when I moved to Las Vegas though in 2013. That's the first time I felt it.
because you said that you but sit at whatever you doing, stop. Shit, that shit sounds crazy.
Yeah, Buddy need a new mic and everything. His mic is boo boo.
Yeah, what I
Hold
was
on.
gonna say is, so basically what it is because you said you don't like to be around a lot of people and all that other stuff, and Vegas move fast. That's a fast city and all that other stuff. And you came from California, and we are a little slower. I'm not gonna say slower because we at the fast pace. We just like it just depends on what area you in and everything else.
But you
So
gotta
basically,
remember, I lived in Omaha, Nebraska from like 2004 to like, you know what I'm saying? It was hell of a slow there. You know what I'm saying? It
that's
was
what I'm saying. So you're used to the slowness and everything else because everything when it comes to mental illness, it's something that triggers you in order for you to get diagnosed with different stuff like bipolar. Some people it just is it's natural. Okay. That's just like you can have two parents that has a mental illness, the kids is not going to get it. But if you have one parent with mental illness and another parent without mental illness, it's going to skip from generation to generation.
mm-hmm.
So you have to be aware of that too as well. We don't know, back in our days when our parents was alive or if they, if they're not alive or if they around, they didn't believe in the whole mental illness stuff. So basically they send you to a hospital, they shot you like a shock treatment,
Mm-hmm.
but they stopped doing that because they found out that it was worse off than what it was doing good. So then they put you in the padded rooms. You have all kind of different things, but in today's times, we as a black community, we need to talk about the shit. Like, you feel what I'm saying? If we notice the white people, they go into the courtrooms, oh, they're diagnosed with this. That's why they did this. And they get away with shit because they use mental health as an excuse. But we as black people, we're so proud that we are ashamed to say that we are diagnosed with something because the first thing our parents say or our friend, oh, that motherfucker crazy. He a little crazy. Don't pay him no mind, this and that. But in reality, it's something wrong with us.
Mm-hmm.
It's something wrong with us and everything else. And we need to talk about it. Like I said, and it's not, how can I put it? Whatever I believe in God. Whatever your higher power is, it is. It's good to pray to God, but you also need to dump it out. It's different ways. If you feel too ashamed to go to therapy, I learned this trick when I was doing therapy. They say write it down and tear it up or burn it
Mm-hmm.
because you got it out. As long as you get it out, you're ready to take on the next shit that you're trying to try to overcome and everything else. Like back to Master P and his son. His son, you got to remember, he's a child celebrity. His daddy was his daddy and manager. He probably was more of a manager than he was a daddy. Money started coming up missing and everything else. Now I'm not okay. You could, yeah. I'm just saying, probably. So money was probably coming up missing and everything else. But another child of his committed. Well, she had an overdose, or she took a fentanyl. Yeah,
She was on drugs though. She was on drugs.
that's what I'm saying. But it starts somewhere. Why did she start drugs? What triggered her to go to drugs? See, a lot of people think like, oh, a person just started drugs just out of nowhere. No, it's something that pushed that person to do drugs. And marijuana is just a gateway to drugs. But I feel like,
It's a good gateway, goddamn, as long as you stay right there and don't cross all the way over that bridge.
yeah, but at times when you go through something and marijuana's not doing it, you go to something else. So it starts somewhere on why we smoke, why we drink, why we do all this stuff. Sometimes it's peer pressure. You try one time and you leave it alone. Another time it's probably you just was trying to experiment and you stay with it. You kind of like the feeling. And then there's other times where you're actually going through something
Mm-hmm.
and you try to escape reality. What are you reading?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the comments to come up to where, they flowing and everybody can see. Y'all can see the comments. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Everybody can see the
I
comments and
only,
they communicate through the
oh
comments.
yeah, I only see Golden she said still unknown on why her triggers for anxiety. Okay. Okay, I went to see a psychiatrist to talk to a therapist. They said it made me feel like okay, so this is the thing about therapy and psychiatrists. Two different things. A psychiatrist is there to diagnose you and try to give you medicine. Therapy is there so you can try to work through your problems without the medication. So you have to be careful on what you do. When you go to a psychiatrist, basically they're going to automatically just try to put you on medication and not try to, work out the problems and everything else. When you go to a therapist, you start off with a therapist. If a therapist think or they see the signs where you need to see a psychiatrist, then that's something else. Basically, always start off with therapy because therapy is going to give you different things or different avenues on how to deal with certain things in your life. Like now, I'm going to see a therapist. That's only because I want to deal with the whole, with everything going on in life, working, relationships, kids, household, all that kind of stuff and everything else without getting overwhelmed and everything else. Am I crazy? No. Do I
You
have my
sure?
moments? Fuck you, buddy. Do I have my moments? Yes. Do I shut down sometimes? Yes. But it's not the point to say, oh, I'm gonna go jump off this bridge because I can't handle life. No. You feel what I'm saying? But then you have because I've dealt with this within personal stuff. Then you have people that are cutters. So basically they cut on themselves, but they don't cut to kill. They cut for the pain, to release the pain, to see the blood. And then after that, they okay because they don't want to deal with reality.
Right.
Okay,
So
so check this out, part girl, cause this young man said some might disagree, but I myself I do my own diagnosis. But you just said earlier that you should not try to diagnose yourself.
yeah, because you could try to diagnose yourself and say, "Oh, I know what's wrong with me. This is and that." And then you go into the doctors, and they be like, "Where do you get that from?" And you tell them, "Well, I self-diagnose myself because these are all the signs that I see
Yeah,
and
right there.
everything else." Yeah, that's better. All the signs that I see and everything else,
I'm
and they're
working
gonna
with
be
it.
like,
I'm working with it, y'all. I'm working with it.
it's cool. And that's not the diagnosis. So you should always let a professional diagnose you when it comes to mental health. You feel what I'm saying? Because you can
Yeah,
go to the doctor and be like, okay, well, I know I got paranoid schizophrenic. They're gonna be looking at you like, well, fuck, why are you not seeing a psychiatrist? And that's what I mean. When you see a
yeah,
psychiatrist and seeing a therapist, two different things. You
yeah,
feel what I'm saying? And all that other stuff. So self-diagnosis is not really, I mean, to each his own, but the professional way is to go get diagnosed from a doctor that's went through years of years of, you know, all this stuff that knows what they're talking about. Like I said, you can read a book. I got a DSM-5. I keep an update all the time because when I deal with certain, okay, prime example, I have a client. He's a vet, paranoid schizophrenic. He was on the streets, all this other stuff. Finally got him in housing. I go see him like once a month and all this other stuff. But every so often he flips out. He goes to a mental hospital. He has to stay there for 6 months to a year. You feel what I'm saying? To get him back on track and all this other stuff. But see, he has me, then he has his social worker, then he has a psychiatrist. But see, with me, like I explained to everybody around him, because when you have people like that, it's a team. You got to be on the right track and everything else. So basically, what I do is I talk to him real. I don't use all the professional terms with him and everything else. It's like, nigga, stop playing. Like, get your shit together. Like, during the COVID time and everything else, he wasn't cleaning his house. And I used to tell him, like, nigga, I'm not coming over this house again until you get your fucking house clean. If you want to meet with me, we're going to meet outside and sit on the porch. And he don't like kind of like that. Like, you feel what I'm saying? He's more, how can I put it? He's a sweet guy. He just has issues. You feel what I'm saying? He don't like being outside as much no more now that he has housing, because he was homeless for a little while and everything else. But the social worker talked to me, they be like when he's being stubborn, they'll call me, they be like, can you tell him like he's not doing this, he's not doing that? So I get on the phone like, nigga, what you tripping for? Like, you already know you got to do all this shit and everything else and all that other stuff. So the last time he went into a hospital, he was there for a year. He just had a whole total breakdown because he was going through something in his life and everything else. But now he back, and he was still taking his meds. He was still doing what he was supposed to be doing and everything else. Something just clicked. You feel what I'm saying? Where he had a meltdown that triggered him and everything else. I've dealt with a lot of different clients on a whole lot of different levels when it comes to certain stuff. Can I diagnose them? No. But since I read a lot and I pay attention to the signs and I pay attention to what their behaviors are and their movement, I know what I'm looking for. I had another client, he passed away now. When I first got him, he's paranoid schizophrenic. He was homeless. He wasn't taking baths. He wasn't taking his meds like he was supposed to. He was just whatever. At the time, I was working for MHLA. So basically, that's Mental Health of Los Angeles and everything else. So I was working there at the time and all this other stuff. He would not do nothing. A situation happened in our office. He came to me. He started talking to me. After that, everybody in my office was like, how did you get him to talk to you? And I was like, what are you talking about? They was like, he doesn't do nothing for nobody. He doesn't take his meds. He doesn't do nothing. So I was stuck with him until I moved along and started working for the city and everything else. So basically what it was I had to meet him where he was at. He used to be homeless. So if he was staying under a bridge that night, I had to go like the next morning and we had a meeting. I had to go meet him at the bridge. If he was staying on a bus stop, I had to go sit and talk to him on a bus stop. Basically, I showed that I care. Like, come on, man, you can do better than this and everything else. He started being med compliant. He got him a place to stay. He started taking showers. He started doing everything he was supposed to be doing and everything else. And they was like, you really worked with him and all that other stuff. And I was like, yes, because the simple fact is he felt like nobody cared. He felt like he just came in this office just to do what he had to do and get up out of here so y'all can leave him alone. Y'all never really asked him, how was your day today? What are you going through? What's happening? Have you ate? Why you smell? Like, sometimes being genuine with the person or just talking to the person and everything else, that's what it is. Right before a pandemic started happening with COVID and everything else, me and my kids used to go down to downtown Skid Row. I need to get pictures next time because I got them in my phone somewhere. So basically, I got 3 barbers. I got some people to barbecue. We made us some hygiene kits, and I just stayed down there all day until all the food and the hygiene kits was gone. People got haircuts and everything else. It's because once they feel like something, they would do something with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one of the guys on here, and not to cut you off, Tiffany, at the bottom of the screen where it say chat,
Uh-huh.
if you click that,
Okay, hold on.
and then it'll say comments, and then you hit comments, you can read all the comments.
All right.
But the young man say as in still don't Like he said he don't like being picked on. So he said he don't be like picked on. Some guy want to try to test me, I automatically just punching him in the mouth. So that's what. So he said basically he got a anger trigger. Just like if he feel as though he's been tested or he feel as though his manhood is being tried, it just triggers him to just start acting out.
Now,
So basically he can his self-diagnosis maybe he was being bullied as a kid. So he don't want to be bullied no more. And that's his thing. Soon as somebody say a bitch ass nigga, and then he gone. He takes off. So that's his self-diagnosis.
no, and I get that. We all have anger issues. But see, this is where it comes in at. At some point, you're gonna have to deal with those anger issues, or you're gonna be sitting in somebody's prison cell or somebody's casket. You feel what I'm
Fact.
saying? Because at
Fact.
the end of the day is, nigga, okay, listen, I've been living out here in Ontario for about almost 5 years now. When I first moved out here, I kept to myself, whatever. I went to Walmart. Walmart, out of all places, got into it with somebody, and she kept calling me black bitches, black bitches, black bitches. I let her get
Hmm.
away with it like 5 times. Like, you black bitch, you black bitch. But it's so many times I'm allow you to call me a black bitch. Mind you, I walked away from the situation. I looked at her and I laughed. I was in my own little world. I didn't even go into the store that day. You know why? Because I beat her ass and had to hop in my car and go home. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not what you do with your anger, is how you handle it. Because see, like I explained to my kids, as long as a motherfucker don't put their hands on you, let them say what the fuck they want to say. If they call you a stupid motherfucker, are you a stupid motherfucker? No, you're not stupid. If they call him a bitch ass nigga, are you a bitch ass nigga? No. So why are you even responding to it? You respond to what you are. You kind of get what I'm saying? If
Not not really, not really, because I've been in a situation where a motherfucker be talking real greasy, and you tell a motherfucker, it's all right, as long as you don't put your hands on me. Your words ain't gonna do nothing, as long as you don't put your hands on me. But at some point, that shit build up, and you just take off like a helicopter. Brr.
but that all depends on the person. Like I said, I have diffused a lot of situations by, because I at one point it was no talking. As soon as you say the wrong word, I'm taking off on you and I'm beating your ass. You feel what I'm saying? That used to be me. Just as soon as you say bitch, boom, I'm taking off. I'm beating your ass, calling day. I swing first and ask questions later and all that other stuff. I start them, you start them, I finish them, everything. But as we grow up and as we mature and as we become adults, at some point, the words, you should laugh at them. You feel what I'm saying? Because when you say, my situation was a little different, because when I did try to walk away and I did try to, try to diffuse the problem and everything else, and you steady walking behind me, calling me all kind of black bitches, you feel what I'm saying? You getting closer and you closer and you closer and you in my bubble, then I'm gonna beat your ass. Because I tried to
She
walk away from
was
you.
she white?
Mexican. I tried to walk away from you. I tried to, diffuse the problem. I tried to do everything that you do. But see, as you live and you learn, I left LA County. Like I told my kids, I brought you guys out here to give you a better opportunity, from the gang banging, from this, from that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Get you away from some of the shit that I went through and everything else. But I said, wherever you go, it's always gonna be some bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? It's always gonna be some bullshit. It's just how you handle the bullshit when it comes to this. So if he's self-diagnosing himself with anger issues, he needs to look deeper within himself on why he has those anger issues. You feel what I'm saying? Like you said, he might been bullied. He might been talked about. He might been abused. His parents probably talked to him crazy. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So that's a trigger, and he has those anger issues. But the way everybody's recording shit now, the way everybody's telling now, the way everybody's doing this and doing that and all that other stuff, you feel what I'm saying? You got to control them anger issues, or it's going to get you in a world of trouble.
Yeah, yeah, that's real talk. That's real talk. It will get you in a world of trouble. It's hard to get out that trouble once you get your ass in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So self-diagnosis is not all that great and everything else. But see, What we fail to realize is as we get old, even if we did go through stuff when we was younger, as we get older, we have the choice now to go get help.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't choose to get help, you're gonna be stuck in that same stuff. When we was going through shit back in our day, you remember in the 70s and the 80s and all that other shit, and they didn't believe in all that mental health shit.
Right.
Now you can go get help. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a thing called the HIPAA law. The HIPAA law is they can't tell your fucking business. So if you're ashamed, you feel what I'm saying, and don't know what want nobody to tell your business, go talk to a therapist. Because as soon as they tell your business, that's a lawsuit right there. It's called ethics and laws. It's called a whole lot of different things. But HIPAA is the biggest one. You can't tell, even if, prime example, even if you go into a therapist and you talk about certain stuff and everything else, and you're in a process of a court case, they cannot go into the courts and say, well, he said this. The only way they can tell on you is if they're subpoenaed, and it has to be in the right way with the HIPAA law. So if you go in there and confess and be like, oh, I killed this person, this and that and everything else, that therapist cannot go and tell what you did, like the Menendez brothers. Y'all remember that case and all
Yeah.
that other stuff? And you see how the
3
therapist
levels of.
and you see how the therapist can only say so much because of the HIPAA law. You can't tell on a person.
Right.
So this is the prime time when now that you're an adult, go get some help.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, read that comment right there, Tiff.
Okay, hold on. Unconscious, briefly conscious, defense and thoughts, actions, and awareness. Yes, and you're right. There's different states of consciousness.
What's people on here that don't know how to read?
Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Because it's small.
Oh, the fuck you with that shit? Like, yeah, that's it.
Hold on. Let me go to it.
Okay.
There are 3 levels of the mind model: conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. Briefly conscious defines our thoughts, actions, and awareness. And you're right. Those 3 things are, okay. Your conscious is basically, let me see. Your conscious is basically like, oh shit, I did something and I have to think. You feel what I'm saying? And your subconscious is something in the back of your brain. Basically, your subconscious looks like
we got somebody want to join us, y'all. We got Austin, Texas in the house, baby. Austin, Texas in the house. What's happening with it, Austin?
What's up? What's up, man? What's up, man?
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay. Man, my headphones kind of shut down at the time. My headphones back on. I'm like, what the hell going on? But yeah, for me to recant on what I was trying to say in the comments, it's more like I'm gonna put it like this. It don't go on nowadays, but it happened years ago. Like when I'm going somewhere, when I'm going to school, when I'm going to work, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? An individual comes up and sees me, like an enemy, a rival, whatever. He'd be like, hey, you, and I am sorry to say this, but he'd be like, you ass nigga, you flat ass nigga, and this and that. Oh my nigga. Oh, I'm finna start punching. We finna scrap. And it's like when individuals want to come up and think they can push me, try to put me in a chokehold. Oh, I'm fighting. I took any and everything as a disrespect or a trigger just for me to take off on them first. So yeah, as far as from my years of middle school and high school from 1994 up to 2000 after I graduated high school, I've done nothing but fight. And I was going to one high school at first. This was like 1996 to 1999. What was it? I think it was going around. I think it was almost fixing to be my senior year. So I got into more fights up to that point. My last fight is what got me kicked out of the high school that I could have graduated from. And they decided that, with the credits that I had, which was good credits, they decided to send me to another high school. And I did my last year there and graduated class of 2000. But you know, I I grew up where if somebody do something to you, you do something to them back, and that's how I was. You
Yeah, but
know,
Oh,
Have
I really did.
Tiffany
Yeah,
is that a
I
mental illness though? That's just some shit, a reaction that I think everybody that's black have. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have
yeah,
that. What you
yeah,
but
what
yeah.
have you ever tried to seek any type of help to control your anger though?
Hell no,
Or even
hell no,
but
hell no, because
have you ever tried to redirect your anger? Like the anger you have and you say you like to fight. Have you ever just like maybe I should try to look into some MMA or some boxing or some UFC or something
I
like that?
I have tried to walk away, how you say, but it doesn't work. Uh, as far as going
but
to
you
like,
know what? It doesn't
as
work
far as
because
like going to mental programs, nope, I never tried them.
no,
Now
because
as
anger
far
is your
go
anger
ahead, go ahead.
is not your anger is really not a mental thing. Your anger is something that like how can I put it? It's not a mental thing. It's more of the way you was brought up and everything else. I think we was all brought up like
I'm,
this. Somebody
I'm
fuck with you, you fuck with them back. Like you feel
Yeah,
what I'm saying and everything else. Trust me, I done been
yeah,
in situations where I done seen people that knew me, they know where I'm from and everything else. But my thing is, it's either I fight or I flight. I'm not flighting. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not running, so I'm gonna
yeah,
sit there and I'm gonna fight. But at the same time, is
yeah,
if I don't see no immediate danger and everything else, I done been places with my kids and I'm like, oh fuck, like I know
yep,
who this is and everything else. But it's just my antennas up more and everything else. My kids already know
yep,
when I say lay down, period, point blank.
hmm,
You feel what I'm saying?
yep,
So you got to control it in a different way because, like you said, you got kicked out your last school that you were supposed to graduate from due to being fights and all that other stuff. Now, when somebody physically
hmm,
put their hands on you, that's something totally different. But when it comes to
yeah,
all the disrespect and everything else, as long as my major disrespect is putting your hands on me. You can say what you
yep,
want. I could be all kind of I don't take nobody personally. I could be all kind of slobs, all kind of bitches, all kind of shit. Like you feel what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
But as long as you don't, buddy, stop looking like that. As long as you don't put your fucking hands on me, I don't give a fuck. I'll
yep,
be that. Like you feel what I'm saying? Now, if you want to do the gunplay and everything else, and I already see that you on the gunplay and you not with the fighting and everything else, then my motto was something totally different. So you just have to
yeah,
be aware of the person that you're dealing with. And it was a time where I was living in Long Beach. I just moved there. When I say I just moved
yep,
there, I just moved there. I'm standing outside, me and my kids and everything else, and somebody just called my name. And I look like, oh, fuck. Like, you feel what I'm saying? First thing I
yep,
did was got my kids out of harm's way. Go in the house. You feel what I'm saying? Go in the house. If my kids already know when I say certain shit and they don't see me return to call your fathers or call my mother. You feel what I'm saying and
yep,
everything else. So it's kind of like you can't say that you have anger issues and you're diagnosing yourself and everything else because anger is not really a mental health. It's more of a like it's an action.
right, right,
it's a
right.
personal thing. It's like a personal thing. It's a self-made,
Yeah,
situation. So,
yeah, it's a self-made situation. So you can't say you self-diagnosed, but then somebody said something about the conscious mind and the unconscious mind.
Yeah,
Okay, or
talk
the
about that. Talk
subconscious
about that.
mind. The subconscious mind is something in the back of your head. You feel what I'm saying? That you think about, and if you think about it too much, you're gonna bring it to the conscious part of your head, and it's gonna be a action with that thought process and everything else. Just like you guys don't understand fight or flight. In our mind, we have a fight or flight situation. It's either you gonna fight your way through this situation or you gonna run from this situation. And that's when you have to be aware of your surroundings, the people you're dealing with, and everything else. So your subconscious and your conscious is like you have to play with the two of them because your conscious is like, oh fuck, like in your conscious, it's kind of like reality right then and there. Okay, if I do this and that and everything else. Your subconscious is like, I don't give a fuck. Let's do this and get it out the way. And then you have some people that don't have a conscience at all and just do shit just to do it. You kind of understand what I'm saying? So you have to know the difference when it comes to the conscious, the subconscious, and your fight or flight mode. It's all kind of really the same thing if you put it all in reality, because the black community, we deal with more verbal abuse than anything there is. You know, our
Yep.
parents when we grew up, I'm beat your ass. Shut the fuck up. We got beat with
Yep.
extension cords, switches, shoes, this, that, all kind of shit. You feel what I'm
Yep.
all
The cord from the iron or the lamp, they whoop you with an iron, they
yeah,
whoop you
all
with
that.
cord,
So
the plug cord and all that.
we deal with more mental abuse than any race there is. They call us stupid. You stupid motherfucker. Go sit your dumb ass down somewhere. All that stuff comes to play, and all that stuff stays in your mind as you get older, and you really start thinking, I really am a dumb motherfucker. I'm a stupid
Yeah.
motherfucker. I be doing stupid shit. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But like I said, as you get older and you become an adult, you have the choice to make. I need help. I've been through a
Yep.
lot. I need to get my shit together.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hold on, I'm gonna go to these comments. Let me see what they're saying. Hold on.
Yeah, let's roll with them.
Yeah. Hey, B-Rat.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
B-Rat. My situation, I would say I'm chilling. I'm still trying to chill, but I still go through the process to where, if I get tested nowadays, I'm right back to being the old me. I mean, my dad, man, for 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 about 2 years now, he was murdered. He's from Houston. He was murdered in Houston by an African girl that he was dating up in the apartments.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
My
so,
condolences.
yeah, so this was August 17th. So August 17th this year should be 2 years now at least. I I still gotten to the point to where, hey man, I lost my grandpops back in the day. I lost granny years later. I lost my dad. I mean my dad, man, my dad. That really tore me up. So I'm like, nowadays I feel like, hey, I'm close to being back to the old me. Like, the things that I haven't done in the past, I'm thinking about doing them now. Like, hey, come and test me, dude. We gonna fight, and then I'm gonna wind up killing this dude, over the bullshit. So
You know why?
I
But wait,
struggle
wait,
with
wait.
that every day. I
But
struggle with that every day, homie.
you know why? Because you haven't dealt with the deaths. You haven't
Hmm.
dealt with those deaths, and you need to deal with those deaths. And you don't have closure when it comes to all the people that you lost and everything else, especially your
I
dad. Because
don't.
you
I
said your
don't.
dad,
Yeah, I
your
don't.
dad, your dad. So what you need to do is you need to find closure. Like I said, you don't always have.
Yeah.
If you're embarrassed and don't want to go talk to nobody and everything else, I've learned that if you write it down and get it out. You can rip
Mm,
it up, you can burn it, you can do whatever, but you're getting it out.
mm,
You feel what I'm saying?
yeah.
Once again, like I said, we black people always suppress. When when it finally builds up and you explode, it's to the extreme and you get yourself caught up. You feel what I'm saying? So
Right,
fuck
right.
all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta deal with it. Like I said, I'm 42 years old. My son has been dead for 23 years, and I just came to realize that a lot of shit that it wasn't like I didn't deal with it. I didn't go to the cemeteries for a long time. I didn't do this. I'm okay with going to the cemetery to his gravesite now. I'm okay with a lot of stuff now because at the end of the day is I dealt with it and I know well, I don't know exactly God's reasoning, but I have a feeling on why what God reasoning is. So I had to deal with that. Now I have other stuff that's come up with my other children when it comes to the mental illness process and everything else. And I'm learning to, for a long time, it was like, how can I put it? I sheltered my kids so they wouldn't have to go through the shit that I'm going through.
Mm-hmm.
Now that some of my kids are grown, they lost in the sauce. You feel what I'm saying? They still come to me, Mom, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? And it's like, what you mean? What should you do? Common sense. But when I was telling them how to do things all their life, now that they're grown, they still need me to tell them to do things. So now I'm trying to push back to explain to them, like, in life you're gonna have to make choices. If some What's so funny, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh,
you trying to be there for your kids. You know, the streets and everything else is not. It's not for everybody no more. If you got kids, be there for the kids. You know, you got to live for your kids. You got to be there for your kids. All that street stuff, you know, that's the past life. You know, let it go. You know.
Yeah, but at the same time, yeah, it's the past life, but still sometimes you gotta show up with your chucks on even after you retire and everything else. Because you got some motherfuckers that just don't give a fuck
Yeah,
and they still test the waters
yeah,
when they see that you trying to get
yeah,
yourself together and everything else.
yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? So you're gonna always have to be on your P's and Q's. But like I said,
yeah,
the black community, they always want to sweep shit under the rug, sweep shit under the rug, sweep shit under the rug when it's right here in the forefront. Like nigga, we all got issues, not just like us, but we all got issues. Everybody goes through something in life and everything else. The white folks and them other people go to therapy real quick. You feel what I'm saying? But us niggas steady, no, fuck that. I'm gonna look like a pussy if I do this. Fuck that. If I go and do this, people gonna make fun of me. Fuck that. Like, I gotta I gotta have this image. I gotta show them I'm tough. Nigga, we all weak in one aspect of our life. You feel what I'm saying? We all have a breaking point. We all like you feel what I'm saying? We all go through something. What is that you gotta be right?
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. What is it?
It's Master P exposed by his son. But they talking about it's another one I'm gonna put on here. It's Master P basically responding back a little bit to what Romeo was saying, you know what I'm saying? That's it.
Okay, yeah. But and this is a prime example. Everything was swept under the rug with this whole family to the point where now it's out in the open and Master P is responding and everything else. Like Romeo said, and I get what Romeo said. Romeo said when DJ Swift or whatever, when a guy killed himself, you're praising another man and telling you to like, but your own kids going through some stuff and you really don't even want to deal with your own family issue, but you praising the next man. See, that's the thing. When it happening in somebody else's house, you feel
Welcome
what
to
I'm saying?
702. Go ahead, Tim. Sorry.
When you Hi 702, when it's going on in your house, you don't want to deal with it, but when it's going on somebody else's house, you want to speak. You got everything you can say about the next person and their problems, and you ain't deal with the ones in your house. So I get where Romeo was coming from, but it should have been done in a different way.
I agree with that too. He should have came in a different way, way
Yeah,
different.
he should have came in a different way.
yeah,
At the same time,
yeah.
is Master P should have when when his son made that remark and everything else, it should have been an immediate phone call. It should not been a thing when they going back and forth on the internet so everybody can see.
Well, I think he said he attempted to call Romeo, but Romeo wasn't answering the phone though. He ain't been answering the phone in a while.
Yeah, because that's your dad. Your dad's praising somebody else and telling you if something's wrong, ask for help. But yet his son's been asking for help for years, been going through shit for years, and you ain't did it to me. That's just like, okay,
Yeah.
did you find the Kirk Franklin and his son's ordeal?
I can find it though. Let me put it.
Okay, so basically,
So let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this. Because his father is wealthy, right?
yeah,
Do you think he should spoon feed his son all his life?
no,
Or
no,
do just because I'm wealthy, that don't mean you don't have to get up and get out there and get a job and make a way for yourself. I
but
don't have to
that's
spoon feed you.
but
I
that's
gave
not
you
what
I
Romeo was
gave
talking
you
about.
I gave you all the knowledge. I gave you all the skills. I sent you to college. You should be able to get out there and do for yourself. Don't just live off of my money. Get out there and make your own money. And just because I gave praise to somebody else don't mean that I don't love you.
No, but that's not what Romeo meant by that. If
Well,
you
what
have
did he
to,
mean by it?
basically what he said was, you're praising the next man, talking about if you need help, go ask for it. But yet I struggled with a mental illness. You seen me struggling with it. You never asked that I want help. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I took from that message. Because all he said was, how are you how are you praising and doing all this for the next man when you won't do it with your own family? I go back to saying, if it's happening and if it's not happening, and when it's happening outside of your household, you got all the advice in the world. As soon as it happens in your household, you're scared to talk about it. You're scared to talk about it. I just didn't gave y'all all my business. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going through some stuff with my kids. You feel what I'm saying? I'm in therapy. My kids is in therapy. I'm overwhelmed. I'm everything. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed. I'm going to see a fucking therapist. I'm about to talk about it. You feel what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I'm about to deal
Yeah.
with my issues inside of my house when it comes to my kids, my spouse, my job, and everyday living. I'm going to deal with it. You feel what I'm saying? Because the simple fact is, I had to look in within myself on certain shit that a couple of people has told me certain things. And I'd be like, man, you full of shit. That ain't me. You feel what I'm saying? Until I sat down and I really took a deeper look in myself, and I realized some of them people were saying was true. See, when two or more people tell you something, it's got to be true. You feel what I'm saying? You really need to start looking at certain shit. Okay. Now this
Okay,
one.
so yeah, appreciate you coming on, Austin. We appreciate your information and all that, man. And hope everything get better, brother. You just gotta stay strong in that situation, man. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Okay,
I know
now
trouble,
with
man.
this Kirk Franklin and his son. So basically, Kirk Franklin has taken care of that grown ass man all his life. All his life. Mind you, Kirk Franklin had his own addictions. He had a sex addiction. He had a gambling addiction. He had all kind of addictions. You feel what I'm saying? Yet and still took care of the spoiled ass grown ass man that needed to be out there getting his own money and everything else. So when Kirk Franklin finally got the help, and see, he's a Christian. He goes to church. He does that. Everybody think, oh, if you got God, you won't go. Nah, that's bullshit. You still go through shit. You feel what I'm saying? So basically, after he got himself helped and he realized he was enabling his son to be a spoiled ass, grown ass man, you feel what I'm saying? And everything else. That's when the son all of a sudden linked this information. Oh, my dad, this, my dad, that, my dad, this. Kirk Franklin called him back to try to have a phone conversation with him. Kirk Franklin basically was like, you ungrateful ass nigga. Like, just went 18 dummy on him. And all of a sudden, everybody, oh, Kirk Franklin, wrong. He's a minister. He's a gospel singer. He's this, he's that. Kirk Franklin's fucking human. We all got feelings.
Well,
He did everything.
let's hear from Kurt then. Let's hear from Kurt and see what Kurt had to say to his
Yeah,
son.
go ahead. Say it.
Some leaked audio. He got some leaked audio.
When your start you need to get your skinny mother back out the goddamn way before I put my foot in your. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. I dare you. Shut the fuck up. I'm old.
What's up? I will break your neck, nigga. Don't you ever disrespect me. I did it.
Uh-oh.
He just hung up the phone.
Sound like he cussed his son out, huh?
I'll break your neck. Is that a threat?
Let's see.
But you see,
Hi, and welcome back.
Go ahead.
You
Go ahead.
see, he only exposed the part when he was threatening him.
Mhm.
But like he said, get your grown skinny ass up out of my shit and handle your own business. Stop
Mhm.
calling me when you going through some stuff. Stop calling me when you need help. Stop calling me since I'm all this. Stop calling me. And see, as soon as he said stop calling me for shit, all of a sudden he get pissed off and want to expose his father. No, that's not cool. You feel what I'm
Sound,
saying?
sound like the Romeo and Master P thing to me.
Basically, you kind of get what I'm saying. So
Hey,
it's like all
but
this.
Romeo won't accept that phone call from Master P. Master P.
Yeah, because Master P, out of Oakland or Louisiana, where the fuck he claiming today, he gonna tell him, hey man, you sitting up here trying to put all our family business out here in the street. Get your grown ass up out my motherfucking shit before I put my foot in your ass.
But no, wait. It's a little different. Romeo got his own. Romeo still doing movies. Romeo still doing stuff. So he's making his own money. Kirk Franklin's son wasn't. It's a difference. You kind of see what I'm saying? And the reason why Romeo, and I'm just playing devil advocate right now, the reason why Romeo probably not answering the phone calls is because it's kind of like, nigga, you fake. Now, all of a sudden, I say what I say on the internet. All of a sudden, you want to talk about it? Why couldn't we talk about it years ago?
But why
Come
it
on.
gotta be all on the internet?
First of all, his dad is the one that initiated that. His dad is the one that came on there and said, when somebody's going through something, reach out to them. I send my
Mm.
condolences and everything else. All Romeo did was responded to like anybody else can respond to it. Respond to how you gonna praise the next man and send condolences to his family when you have your own issues in your own family that you're not trying to you feel what I'm saying, deal with.
So just by you saying that, so basically, if I go on the internet and I say y'all need to start giving people their flowers while they alive and don't wait till they pass away. And
Hmm.
then my daughter get on the internet and say, "Well, nigga, you ain't gave me no flowers." She could have just called me and said, "Dad, I seen what you said on the internet. Why you ain't give me my flowers?"
But
She could
see,
have called me on the phone.
no, but see, you have to look at the bigger picture, buddy. They had a strained relationship ever since he got grown and he started realizing some of the business dealings his daddy was doing. So he
That's
kind of,
that's not true. That's not true. Want me to tell you why I say that's not true?
why?
Master P been trying to put Romeo on. Master P just made a movie called The Ice Cream Man, right?
Mhm.
Guess who Master P let produce it?
Oh,
Lil Romeo.
no, see, let me
So
rephrase this.
that way, even though I'm making a movie, you getting production rights, you getting script rights off of this, you
So you
getting
feel
paid off of this.
No, what I'm trying to get you to understand though, buddy, listen to me close. That's fine and dandy. But when Romeo was going through his mental illness and everything else,
Hmm.
because there was a strain in their relationship once upon a time where Romeo walked away from his father. Even when his father like was still doing business and all this other stuff, he still walked away from his father because of a strained relationship. You got to remember, Romeo started this when he was a kid. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Once he got an adult and he realized some of the business dealings that his dad was doing, and he kind of put two and two together, he felt his dad.
he ain't put two and two together. He had outside and inside influence.
Okay, that too. So let's just
Hmm.
say two, like that's still outside and inside. That's two and two
And
together.
he influenced that boy. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So,
He realized that he thought his dad was fucking him. So that took him in his mind somewhere totally different. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like I trusted my dad. He was my manager. I didn't put nobody else. I kept it in the family and all this other stuff. You can shake your head all you want, Rat.
he
I'm
learned the
playing.
damn business. He should have learned the business. You're a fucking grown man. Learn the
Yeah,
business.
listen,
Learn
let
what
me
happened.
finish. That's why I say I'm playing devil's advocate. Once he did learn the business,
Finish this
and
shit.
no, once he did learn the business and he started seeing shit, he probably felt some type of way. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I don't know this man's true feelings. I don't know none of that. But okay, let me use me as an example. Prime example. Okay, I grew up in the music business and everything else. My mom's my manager and all this other stuff. I'm not really too much tripping off the whole legal part of it, but the simple fact is, I trust my mama. I don't think she's gonna fuck me and everything else. Until I start getting older and I start realizing some shit like, wait, no, that's not what my mom said. That's not what my mom told me to do. That's not what. Then you start getting people's advice on the outside and on the inside. And then when you start realizing, go ahead.
No, I was saying haters. That's
Oh
what
yeah.
you get.
Once
Haters.
I
Motherfuckers
once
want
I
to be in your
realized that
They want to be in your position.
once I realized like fuck my mom been fucking me all this time, but why? Like you feel what I'm saying? It's gonna be a strained relationship until you feel what I'm saying? I feel like I'm gonna have to go to her and talk to her and everything else. Or once my mom seen a change in me, she could have came to me and was like, "Well, what's going on? Like, what happened? What was the change? What's this? What's that? And all this other stuff, and all that other stuff." And then it probably could have been hash. But see, they waited. When you start waiting too long to try to get shit together in your family and everything else, the damage is already done.
But Tiffany, let me ask you this: do you really think that Master P fucked his son over about some money?
I
I,
don't.
I don't think so because Master P came from the bottom to the top. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm not saying that he
Well,
fucked him.
I'm just asking you that question. No, what's your thoughts on that, though?
I don't think so because you know why? Because when Master P first came up, he came up off an I think it's an inheritance, right? He got some money from somewhere and
From
he
his
started.
grandfather.
Yeah, he started from the bottom and worked his way up to get that first million he got and everything else. So no, I don't think he fucked. Like you feel what I'm saying? I don't think he fucked his son out of the money and everything else. But see, as you grow older, like you said, he had people on the outside, he had people on the inside, he had other people trying to, get him like turn away from your daddy, let me be your manager, this, that, and all this other stuff. His mind is steadily going. He's still young.
His mama was a big influence on that.
That's
I
what I'm
think
saying.
this what I think. It's like Golden Goddess said. Dude is a spoiled brat. I think that's what it is. So I think what Master P was, he gave him money, he gave him money, he gave him money, he gave him money. Whether it was from record deals, was it from royalties, was it allowances or not? He was giving him money, giving him money, giving him money, giving him money. He even sent him to college. The dude went to UCLA. The dude, how do you think who paid that tuition? Because his basketball skills was garbage. So he didn't go off of no scholarship. Somebody paid that tuition, giving him money, giving him money, giving him money, giving him money. Sooner or later, I'm not gonna keep giving you money. You a grown ass man. It's just like Kirk Franklin said, get up and get your own shit. So now that you got to get up and get your own shit, now it's I'm a piece of shit and I didn't give you your just due. If you made 14 albums and I gave you 200,000 off of every album, when that money run out, you can't keep coming back to me saying, "Where's my money?" I gave you your money. Now you need to get up and do your own shit. Now because you got to get up and do your own shit, now there's a problem. Now you got some type of mental issues. No, your issue is your mathematics. When you went to motherfucking school, you should have put that money in some type of savings or some type of trust funds or something where it's going to create more money. But now that you ran out of money, now you got some mental issues and I'm the cause of it.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I hear everything that y'all saying. Everybody's entitled to their own feelings and everything else. Like somebody said in the chat, every kid is gonna feel like they're entitled to everything, or every kid is gonna be like that. But when you start giving your kids without making them work for it, they're gonna feel entitled and all that other stuff. That's why I tell my kids, like my 18-year-old right now, I told her, once you get 18, I'm not going to put you out, but you're not going to sit on your ass either. You're going to either go to school and give me a degree or you're going to go to work. She went to school for a little while. Now she's working into school, is back in and everything else. She's not just sitting on her ass doing nothing. My 21-year-old, she's out of the house. She lives on campus. She goes to school and she works. Now, when my 15-year-old, when he turns 16 next year, he's going to get a part-time job and do what he got to do and everything else, because I'm not just going to give you guys nothing. You feel what I'm saying? I want you to learn how to, when it's something that you bought, it's a different thing. Like it's an accomplishment. You feel good. You do this, you do that, and all this other stuff. But if mommy keep giving it to you, you're not going to understand it. Like I tell my kids, all I gotta do is give you a roof over your head, clothes on your back, and food on the table. Until you,
man.
yeah, until you're
St. Louis CMG say what's happening, homie? What's up with y'all?
So what happens, Tiffany, when they get 25 and they ask you for something, and you tell them no, and they hit you with you ain't never gave me shit.
Oh well, I gave you life, motherfucker. So
But
go
see, now
take that
now
and run with it.
that's the situation that Master P is in. When you done provided for them all throughout their life, and now that they out and time to be on their own, and now they coming back with their hand out, and you say, hey, check this out, man. And now it's you ain't never gave me shit.
No, but I think Master P and his son Romeo, their situation is different because they're only putting out what they want to know on the internet. We don't know the intels of everything. You
So
feel
we
what
ain't we what we doing is a whole bunch of speculating.
that basically? Okay, prime example. Everybody puts what they want out on the internet. They're not going to tell you the full truth. You feel what
I
I'm
do.
saying? Well, not you're a rare breed, but I'm just saying.
Romeo telling a lot though. He telling more than he should be telling.
Yeah, he's telling more. He's
But
telling more than he should be telling, but at the same time, it's something deeper than that. Like somebody said something about C murder and all this other stuff, and why he's still sitting in jail and all this other shit and everything else.
Cause
It's
he got a motherfucking murder case.
it's a
I mean,
lot.
the boy P, he explained this stuff the other day about how much money he spent on C murder and his case. You know,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he didn't just let his brother go. And you know what I'm saying? He got him a high priced lawyer and the whole thing. But shit, when you
yeah,
look
but that's
at
what I'm saying. We're not gonna never
Tory
really know
Lanez, look at Tory Lanez, a perfect example. Look at him.
who.
Yeah.
Tory
Tory
Lanez.
Lanez. He about to go sit over there with C Murder and R. Kelly. They gonna all be together. They gonna make a group.
You stupid motherfucker. The Tory Lane situation, I don't even want to talk about because what he did was some bitch shit to me. But I'm gonna leave that alone. That was some bitch shit.
Yeah, he did this. I don't know what the fuck he was doing or what he was thinking about, but you know, look at him.
Yeah, that was some bitch shit. But then I look at Meg the Stallion, what part she played in it. You feel what I'm saying? What really made it to the point where he shot you? You feel what I'm saying? Because sometimes bitches got mouths on them, and they say men are not supposed to hit women, but sometimes some of these, and I used to be one of them. Like I said, I did domestic violence for a long time, but I had a motherfucking mouth on me and dared a nigga. You feel what I'm saying?
But he
Even
only shot her in the foot. Tell her to stop fucking crying.
Well, I don't think that she was crying. She started out. I don't think that they were gonna say nothing at all until the police got him. You know what I'm saying? And then I think the police made her say what she had to say. You know what I'm
and
saying?
everything else, but that's a
Yeah,
different
they
story.
picked that up
But
and made that happen.
yeah, but the whole Master P and Kirk Franklin thing, we see Kirk Franklin basically give to a son. Then, like I said, he had a mental illness. He had a drug addiction, a porn addiction. He had all kind of addictions, a gambling addiction, and everything else. So when he finally had to sit down and look at self, that's when he starts seeing, okay, I'm enabling my son. I'm allowing him to get away with this. If I can get help, he needs to get help too. Master P and Romeo situation is something similar to that, but the different thing is Romeo did, after doing all this shit, he did, because he made movies, he made his own records, he started making his own little money and everything else. But I think in that transition, when two and two was being put together, the influences, the mama, the sister overdosing and all that other stuff, I think the relationship was strained. And then instead of him and his dad working their problems out, he just went off on the internet when he seen his dad's post. He kind of picked it apart and was like, nigga, I've been having a mental illness all this time. You ain't never tried to talk to me. Now all of a sudden somebody you never met in your life, you want to give them condolence and start talking about motherfucking mental illness. Nah, fuck that, nigga. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Both ways they went about doing it was wrong on both parts of the kids.
Yeah.
On both parts of the kids. You feel what I'm saying? But it all depends on how you raise your kids. If you got them entitlement, you got them entitlement. You feel what I'm saying?
I say kick his ass, even though he's 30. I don't give a fuck how old he is. Let's go to the gym. Let's go to the gym and check it out. Put these
Yeah,
gloves on. I'll beat your
I
ass.
mean, I think, yeah, I think, I
Still
mean,
my son, nigga. You still my son. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you still my son, but do you kind of get what I'm saying? There's still a mental thing there when it comes to it. Like I said, us black people, we're more mentally abused than any other nationality to me there is. You feel what I'm saying? Well, no, not really.
I
I'm
don't
a
see the answer. I see the greediness. That's what I see.
no, I'm talking about just as a whole. Let me go
Oh,
ahead and what I mean by, because the Chinese and all that other stuff, they're more harder on their kids and all that other stuff than we are on our kids. Their situation is different because your first kid has to be a firstborn male. You feel what I'm saying? They have to do this, they have to do that, this is and that. So different races have different ways of dealing with mental illness and everything else. But I feel that us, the Black community, we have swept shit so much under the rug that we're scared to go get help now. And that's not okay. You feel what I'm saying? We need to get this shit out. We need to do what we gotta do. We need to, like, you feel what I'm saying? We can't always be strong. We can't always be this. We can't always be that. Like, we teach our Black males, don't cry. That's not manly. Fuck that.
Right.
I teach my son, I tell my son, cry. What you feeling? What's going on? And
I don't
everything else.
even let my daughter cry
Why?
because it's soft.
She's a female, buddy.
I don't give. Listen, me and my daughter was out riding scooters, right? She said, "Daddy, I'm gonna follow you." So I'm zipping and swooping through the poles. So she tried to zip and swoop through the pole. I heard something go boom. I looked back. My daughter was in the grass with dirt all in her hair.
You ain't shit, buddy. Wait, I
Hey.
let me get
She-
Put a slide up right.
She started crying. I let her cry for 5 minutes. I swear for God, I timed it. After 5 minutes, I told her, "That's enough, mommy. Get up, dust yourself off, get back on the scooter. Let's roll." Later on that day, she said, "Daddy, why you didn't let me cry?" Because people was out here looking at you like you weak. You don't never let nobody see you cry.
And see, that's where you fucking your daughter up from, because number
That's
one
okay.
is, no, hold up. Number one is she could be crying.
I'll be right back and take a small chronic break.
Okay.
Hey,
look at-
B-Rat,
Yo,
on the bottom of the screen, hit the camera. It'll leave you on, but it'll turn your camera off.
at the bottom.
let me
All
go
right,
back.
go ahead.
Let me go back to you. First of all, she's a female. She's
Mhm.
entitled to cry and everything else.
Yeah.
When somebody cried, that doesn't make them look weak, because some people cry when they're angry. When I get real pissed off, I cry instead of fucking some shit up. Like, you feel what I'm saying? When I say I cry, I cry. Then there's times where I cry when I'm overwhelmed and everything else. But I don't like try to, how can I put it? I think my spouse seen me cry like once or twice or probably 3 times. One time he didn't even know I was crying because I was on the patio in my own little world, and I just had to have a moment. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I think the next time you see me cry was at my grandfather's funeral, and then another time I cried because I was just overwhelmed. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But you're entitled to feel. That's the thing. We can't be strong through every fucking thing. At some point, we need to let our guards down and let somebody help us. And she's a female. That's why I said I allow my son to cry. I allow him to express himself and all that other stuff. But I bet you if you run up on my son thinking he weak, he gonna fuck you up. Period, point blank.
But see, here's the thing. I didn't say my daughter can't cry. She can cry when she get home in the dark in her room. But she ain't finna sit up here and allow these people to see her at a weakened state. I don't play that.
Hold up. What people though? Because
Anybody.
because them people, okay, prime example. Something happened to y'all together, something happened to you. And you're not in control, and she's crying and she's crying and she's crying and she's crying. She's in a weak point because something happened to you. One of them people from the outside, a stranger that you don't want her to see weak at a weakened moment, might help her and help you. You get what I'm saying? Come on, man. You have to I get what you're saying. You don't want nobody to see your daughter at her weakest moments, but at some point in life, somebody's going to see her at her weakest moment, and it's going to take place and all that other stuff. You feel what I'm saying?
It probably will. It'll probably be something that she can't control.
Yeah.
But now see, here's the thing. Maybe that falls in line what we've been talking about is the mental health in the way that we was raised. See, I was raised that crying and shit. That's just for the weak.
No.
That's for the
No, listen.
that's I'm talking about how I was raised. That's for the weak. That's for the weak. So I choose not to let nobody see me like that.
No, the
So
thing about it is crying is an emotion. We have them.
that's the emotion that I don't want people to see.
But it doesn't I mean that's an emotion. Like
Hmm.
okay, so my question to you is going to cry, making her come home and cry in the dark so nobody will see her at her weakest moments, that might not still help her. She might still be going through something that she needs to talk about somebody, but you taught her cry by yourself, get up, dust yourself off, and do it by yourself. That's not cool.
See now going to go talk to somebody about your feelings are going to express yourself about what you're going through. That's a totally different thing than sitting there crying.
But she was hurt, buddy. She hurt herself.
She was hurt. I allowed her to cry for 5 minutes.
Okay, yeah, you allow her to cry, but instead of sitting there, okay, you allow her to cry, but get up and just dust yourself off and let's try again.
That's
You should at
wrong.
least no, you should at least picked her up, give her a hug, be like, okay, it's all right. Now let's get up and let's do it. You gotta show some kind of emotions, and see that's where it comes in too, because see, a father like you is gonna get pissed off when a nigga handle her wrong because you're teaching her how to be strong, how to be strong, how to be strong. You feel what I'm saying? And then when a nigga really handle her strong, what you gonna do?
Either she gonna handle them strong if they handle her strong, or she gonna come to me and I'ma handle it.
And that's what I'm saying. You have to show her how to handle her emotions and everything else, not in a weakened state, but it's okay to let a motherfucker know, like, even if she is crying, that you hurt my feelings, you did something wrong, but at the end of the day is I'ma still fuck you up. You kind of get what I'm saying, buddy? You
Hmm.
can't harden her. Okay, for a long time, my spouse said, you act just like a nigga. You feel what I'm saying? You act
Hmm.
just like a nigga. You know why? Because I was
That's it.
hardened.
Uh-huh.
What? I was hardened by the circumstances that I've been in, that all I knew how to be was strong. I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't want your help. I wanted to do it my way or no way and call it a day. That's something that I had to work through on myself. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So basically, it's the same thing you're teaching your daughter. You feel what I'm saying? Don't cry, handle this shit, get back up and keep pushing. That's not cool. And,
Let's get the
and
It,
likes up, y'all. There's 80 y'all in here. Come on, let me get 8 likes, man. God damn, 8 of them, man. Ain't nothing 8 people.
shit, but that's just the way I teach her. You
yeah,
gotta
but
be strong.
yeah.
That weakness is for the weak people.
Now listen, I'm a very strong individual, but at sometimes I have my weak moments and I need
Hmm.
somebody to carry me. You feel what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Instead of me always carrying somebody else.
Listen,
So,
sometimes I have weak moments, but you would never know.
but do you think that's okay? Because everybody needs
It
help.
works for me.
The mental.
No,
That's the mental.
yeah, it works for you, but everybody needs help. Everybody. I don't give a fuck how strong you think you are. You need help. You
Let me
need
tell you.
help.
Let me tell you. See, but this is we saying the same thing, but we saying it different. Listen, me sitting up here crying about something ain't gonna help. Now me coming to talk to Tiffany, hey Tiffany, listen, this is what I'm going through. If you can help me with this, then help me with this. Sometimes I might come to you and I don't even want to talk. I just want to vent to you. You ain't even got to say nothing. I just want to vent to you. That might help. I just need a deaf ear to talk to. That might help. But me coming to you crying is not helping anything.
Hey, tell Big Devil
What's
that
up,
I'm not.
Big Devil? Big Devil, what's happening with it?
Yeah, hold on. That's all I was gonna say. I just seen this comment. I ain't telling Buddy how to raise his kids. I'm talking from a woman's point of view. Like, you feel what I'm saying, and everything else. Buddy gonna raise his kids how he want to raise his kids. Like, I'm gonna raise my kids how I want to raise my kids and everything else. So it wasn't nothing on me telling me he shouldn't do this. I'm speaking from the world's point of view. I'm speaking from a woman's point of view and everything else, because that's why us women are so, like, how can I put it? First of all, let me go get my charger, because if not, my phone about to hang up. So hold on. Just hold on.
First of all, that's why a lot of people get picked on.
On here, get Big Dev on here. I don't know how to send him a link though.
That's how a lot of people get picked on, B-Rat. That's how a lot of people get talked about, and that's a lot of people get preyed on. They show their weakness by sitting there crying, showing that you weak. That's what people want to see, your weakness. What made you cry? How did they get you to the point to where it made you cry? Now they see your weakness, they prey on that. That's why I told my daughter, don't let nobody see you cry. Don't ever do that. You get a man and he tell you ain't gonna be shit without him, and then he leave you and then you cry. He know now. Oh yeah, I got her. I know what to say to her to make her cry and this and that. That's a weakness. And then they gonna play. Then they gonna play on your mental.
Yeah. Now listen, and see. Let's go back to this, because if you cry over somebody's words, yeah, you are weak. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, buddy. What I'm saying is, she's entitled to cry. You feel what I'm saying?
She is.
But listen, whether that's in front of somebody, whether that's in front of somebody or not in front of nobody, because see, the way we're thinking, if I let somebody see me cry, they're gonna see what happened, and they're gonna play off my weakness. Everybody doesn't think like us, buddy. You have people that generally out here shows like you feel what I'm saying? That shows their weak side, and it's a plus for them. You kind of get what I'm saying? Like somebody just said, never show your weakness, always be strong. How strong are we supposed? But how strong are we supposed to be before we break all the way down?
You can't listen. I'm telling you, I never said don't break down, but I'm saying don't break down in front of people. You break down in the comfort of your own home, and you break down in the comfort of your own home in a secluded place where nobody knows what you're doing. That's what you do. But once you start breaking down in front of people and then they see your weakness, they prey upon that.
Yeah, but see, all the time your weakness can't be secluded in your house. All kind of shit happens. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, Tiffany. Okay. Let me ask you this.
Oh, we got a debate.
Two people that's on here that been to prison. When you on the main line, when you go in your cell, you like, fuck, dude. Like, man, I got about 3 more years of this shit. Damn, my people ain't racking right. Motherfuckers don't want to put money on my books and shit. God damn, what the fuck I'm gonna do? You do that in your cell. But when they pop that motherfucking door, you got your motherfucking head up and your chin out. Motherfuckers don't know. Do you let them see you cry when you hit that main line?
No, I didn't. I kept to myself.
That's the fuck I'm talking about. When my daughter hit the world, she hold her head up. She don't let nobody see her cry. Now, when she's at home in the comfort of her own home, then she can let it out. You can let your air out. Put your chest. Go ahead and sit back in the chair. Let it out if you want to. But once you get out that motherfucking door in that free world, you don't let nobody see your weakness.
No, and listen, I get everything that you're saying. But sometimes those weaknesses can't always happen in the comfort of your home. That's my main point of getting you. It's a couple of times we just showed our weaknesses in the streets. You feel what I'm saying? And it wasn't because we wanted to. You feel what I'm saying? It was just circumstantial and everything else. And we did it for a minute. We sucked it up and kept pushing. You feel what I'm saying? See, everybody's misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not telling Buddy how to raise his daughter. I'm not saying that, none of that. but we all have weakness. At some point, our weaknesses is gonna come out. We can't always hide our weaknesses. It's gonna come out sooner or later what our weakness is to the world and everything else. Now, how a person plays upon your weaknesses, that depends on that person's mental and everything else, but you know how to handle them and all this other stuff. It's times where I be driving and I start crying. I know people see me as I'm driving next to me and everything else. You feel what I'm saying? But I was just at a weak moment at that time and I keep driving and everything else. How can they play against my weakness? You
Well,
kind of get what I'm saying?
that's some female stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you
No, no,
know.
no, 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 no.
So,
It's not
hey,
female.
hey,
No,
hey, I'm just keeping it 100 as far as I feel. You know what I'm saying? This is my thought. That's some female shit. You know what I'm saying? You're going to break down. You might cry. But you know what I'm saying? As a man in these streets, you can't show no weakness and you get your life jacked.
no,
You
and,
know,
and
I don't know where you can show no weakness at where we came up at Inglewood.
no, I'm not saying that.
Where you going to show the weakness at?
This whole debate came up with about his daughter. I'm not talking about y'all males. I allow my son to cry. I let him handle.
You talking
I
about
let
the
him
dog.
handle his business. We in the house. It is what it is, nigga. Go out there and still handle your business. You feel what I'm saying? That's what it
Let her
is.
cry. Let her cry.
I'm saying his
Let her
daughter.
cry.
You feel what I'm saying? Because it affects us. At, do you know how much I hear that black women are strong, black women are strong, black women are strong? We can't be weak. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's not
Right.
fair to black women because we're
Why?
the ones. What?
Why is it not fair
That what?
that you have to continuously be strong? Listen, want me to tell you why black women have to continuously be strong all the time?
Why?
Because she is the backbone of black men.
And no,
So
hold
so
on, hold
so
up.
when
I'm not
so
talking about.
when so when we are not strong, we need her to be strong for us.
But I'm not talking about y'all right now. I'm talking about only women.
That's
Only
why we
women.
need black women to be strong.
And it seemed like he trying to raise his daughter to be strong like that so she can be strong for the man.
No, and I understand. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. See, you guys
Oh,
are not.
we must get Tiffany all off here tonight, man.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah,
on.
y'all not doing it. Which, like she
Not
said, wait, hold up. Like the golden goddess said, it gets tiresome. We get tired of carrying a whole lot of shit when it comes to everything. We get tired. You feel
We
what I'm
don't
saying?
want you to carry us all the time. We want you to carry us when we need you.
Listen, can I finish? I'm
Go
talking
ahead.
about women. I'm not talking about you male specments right now. I'm talking about women.
Go ahead. Go
You
ahead.
feel what I'm saying? We black women carry it all for the whites, the Hispanics, the Mexicans, the Asians, the everything else. We carry that burden on all of them. You feel what I'm saying? If you look at the statistics today, you feel what I'm saying? Like the whole abortion thing. Let's go to that. The whole abortion thing. The whole abortion thing wasn't for us that always like, you feel what I'm saying? Do you know how many people, it's the white women that's getting more abortions than anything else? It's more other races than anything else. So when that debate came out, if you notice, you didn't see a lot of black women out there fight for the abortion rights and everything else because we keep our babies, we handle our business, we do what we gotta do, regardless of we gotta get the county or if we gotta do this, we gotta do that. We're talking about as a whole. Us women, when it comes to the women race, you feel what I'm saying? Us black women carry it all. Just like when it comes to the male race, they say the black males is the most ones that's incarcerated and everything else being taken away from the women, breaking up black families and everything else. You feel what I'm saying? So they want y'all weak, but they want us strong. That gets tiresome. Period, point blank. When it comes to the black women, us black women are tired of carrying it for everybody out here. You feel? Did you just hear what I said? I'm in therapy. I get overwhelmed. I'm trying to juggle a whole lot of shit. You feel what I'm saying? In the working field, in my household, in my relationship, in my everything. I'm trying to hold it all together. I never really have time for me. I rarely because I'm always thinking about the next person. We get tired. Even when my everybody's sleeping this motherfucker, I still get up in the middle of the night, checking rooms and everything else to make sure everybody's safe. Be the last one. I might be the first one down, but I'm the first one up in the morning, making sure, I get me some meditation time, pray over my kids, pray over my family and everything else. We get motherfucking tired.
Good looking out, Corey Jones. We appreciate you, homie. Come back and check us out next Monday at 8 o'clock, homie. For sure. We appreciate you. Yeah, TL in the house. Baby.
Now, do you understand what I mean by that, buddy? Now you see what I'm talking about when I say it's okay for her to have some weak moments, and I get what you're saying. Not outside, not in front of a lot of people that's gonna pick and choose her weaknesses and everything else and all this other stuff. But at the same time, she needs to allow to have those weak moments.
She are.
So
She is allowed to have those weak moments in the comfort of her home.
That's what I'm saying. Sound like you said you let her come home and do her thing if she needed to do once she got home. Right?
In the comforts of her home, you can be weak.
Thing, right?
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Tiffany.
You can say, I don't care what you call me. Shit. I'm just telling you.
Okay, let me just say this.
The whole name. Look,
in a month, I'll be 51 years old, right?
Uh-huh.
When I come home, nobody would never know if I come home in this house and I just break down. I could be missing my mama. I could be missing my daddy, my grandmama, anything. I could just have a hard day and I break down. Nobody would never know, because once I go out that door and enter into society, that's all they know is a strong black man. That's all they know. That's all they gonna see. That's it.
And that's fine, but at the same time is you can be softened, like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't mean to say it. No, listen, I don't mean to say
the only time they see me soft is when I'm babying my daughter or hugging my daughter. That's the only time they see me soft.
What I mean, okay, prime example. I'm using myself. When I walk out my house sometimes and I deal with the world, I walk around and people walk up to me, be like, smile, it can't be that bad. Whole time ain't nothing wrong with me. You feel what I'm saying? Because I have hardened myself when I go out here in the world to deal with these stupid motherfuckers and everything else, and I gotta be strong. I gotta put in this front.
That's me too.
You feel what I'm saying? And everything
That's
else.
me too.
But what I'm saying is, it's times where I'm laughing, I'm talking, I'm joking, and everything else, and motherfuckers think like, oh, she a cool ass person, I probably can get over on her, until I start checking them. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck you think you doing? Just because you see me with a smile and everything else. But that's what I'm saying. It's okay to show your weaknesses from time to time, or show like your vulnerable side from time to time in the public. But not on an everyday basis. You kind of see what I'm saying? Because I see how this kind of turned into a big debate. All I'm saying is, buddy, don't harden your daughter to the point where you got some man that's not gonna want to deal with it, because she gonna be like, well, nigga, well, bitch, since you think you independent, you got it all together, and you don't need no man, fuck you too. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Let her show her soft side too at the same time. You feel what I'm saying? Because, like you said, you're raising her to be a strong black man, a strong black woman. So when a black male fails, she can be the backbone. But if she's hardened all the time, she gonna be looking at this nigga like, nigga, what your bitch ass crying for? Like,
exactly. What you crying for, baby? I got you. Let's get up and do this. Ain't no need to cry. Let's get up and do this.
No. Pause. I'm gonna tell you a prime example. I used to be like this, and I'm talking for self. When my spouses used to go through something and everything else and all this other stuff, I would side-eye them and be like, nigga, what the fuck you crying for? You a man, keep pushing. I used to be like that. Now,
that's what we need.
No, listen, now when my spouse is going through something, I try to talk them through it. Instead of looking at them like, nigga, the fuck you cry for? You a man, you ain't supposed to cry. Now, I ask my spouse, nigga, I ain't never see you cry. When are you gonna cry? Like, at some point you gotta cry. Like, you feel what I'm saying? When he's stressed out, I know certain shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because I see his actions and his moves and everything else. So sometimes I have to sit down and I might come off as a hard approach or something like that. But I have to check him sometimes and be like, nigga, you moving, like, you doing too much right now. Or I get silent and I won't say nothing until I feel like, hell no, I gotta say something now. Or I'm fed up, like, nigga, you just running yourself on the ground, sit your ass down, this and that, and everything else. You feel what I'm saying? So that's
so
the difference.
so here's the type of woman that I would love to have on my team. I want a strong woman, whether she's Latina or Mexican. I ain't gonna say white because I ain't never dealt with a white woman. Whether she's Latina or Mexican. If I come home and I say, babe, I lost my job today. You know what, baby? I got this for right now, but what I need you to do is tomorrow I'm gonna need you to go outside and put out some more applications, get on Indeed and look. I don't want nobody to be like, damn, baby, I lost my job. Oh, what are we gonna do? I don't need that.
No, and that's what
I don't need that.
I'm not saying
Because
that, but
that's a weak ass woman. I don't want that type of woman. I want the type of woman that's gonna be like, babe, check this up. We got a couple dollars saved up, but what I need you to do is tomorrow. I'm gonna leave my laptop here. I need you to go on and get on Indeed and look for some jobs. They
No, and
hiring down there at the post office.
and
They
that's
doing this, but I got you, baby.
no,
That's what
and
I
that's
need.
encouraging your spouse and everything else. And
And
I
that's the type of woman I'm raising.
But I understand that. I'm not saying that, like, you feel what I'm saying? But she might have a weak moment and cry about it, trying to like, okay, now I gotta go harder than my nigga because he lost his job and everything else and all that other stuff and going from there. So what's the difference? See, you guys are taking the shit out of context now. Like, you feel what I'm saying? She's entitled to her weak moments, whether it's in public or in the house, but she gonna keep pushing. That's just like me. I'm entitled to my weak moments, whether I'm in my house or if I'm driving down my car, if I'm in my shower, but I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep pushing the next motherfucking day. Period, point, motherfucking blank. You feel what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to get you to understand. She's still young. Like, you feel what I'm saying? She's still young. Still give her a chance.
Hey, Tip, if somebody
What?
rolls up on you and see you crying and say, shut your crybaby ass up, motherfucker, what you gonna say? Is that gonna piss you off?
And I'm gonna tell them to mind their motherfucking business because they don't know what I'm going through. That's what I'm gonna tell them.
And they're gonna say, shut your fuck ass up and cry, baby. Go home and do that shit.
Like I said, I'm gonna tell them to mind their motherfucking business because they don't know what I'm going through. Period, point blank. You feel? It's everybody cries for different reasons. If somebody's crying in public, it might not be because they feel and hurt themselves. It can be like they on the verge of killing themselves. It can be on the verge that my husband or my wife just left me. It could be on the verge, like you just said, that somebody sitting in their car crying because they just got let go from a job that they've been on for 10 years. It could be a lot of different reasons why motherfuckers show their weak moments in public. You feel what I'm saying? But that don't mean they gonna stay weak. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand, buddy. Whether she's in the house crying or whether it happened in the streets and she's crying. You feel what I'm saying? Give her that moment to be weak and keep pushing after that. That's all.
So
I'm
let me
saying.
tell you, that
But
that
don't be
that
so hard on her.
that dude right there that just signed off, if him and his brothers and the homie Moose or somebody like that, as a young kid, seen me crying on the block, you know what they would tell me? Get your punk ass up off the block. Get the fuck from me. That's why that type of emotion don't resonate with me, because that's what I went through as a kid. Oh, I fell off my bike trying to jump the curve and fell, and then they see me crying. Oh man, get your punk ass up or get up off the block.
But come on,
that emotion's been erased from me from a long time ago.
And I understand that. We on the block, we couldn't show no weakness, we couldn't do all this and everything else.
That's
but
why
like,
I don't allow my kids to do it.
Hold up, but we're changing the cycle. We're going to a different
Not that
route.
cycle.
Okay.
I can't. It's just not in me, man. I can't.
And like I said, your kids are entitled to cry, do what they gotta do.
Hey,
you feel what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be honest. I ain't that hard no more like Buddy is. You know what I'm saying? I taught him how to be hard, but I'm damn near reaching 55, so I'm almost 5 years older than Buddy.
What's that got to do with anything?
I'm just saying.
Be ready. So if your son,
I allow my daughter to cry if she want to, not in public, but she gonna cry if she want to cry. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes.
But if your son come running up in the house, what you gonna tell him, B-Rat?
You already know what I'm gonna tell him.
Shut that shit up.
Ain't no question.
Get in there and go wash your face and shut that shit up.
Ain't no
But
question.
buddy, hold up. Let's rewind. Did you just hear what he?
Yeah. Did you just hear what he said?
No, wait.
Did you just hear what he said? Because he said, I let my daughter cry, not in public.
Mm-mm.
I won't let her cry in public, but I'll let her cry.
But see, that's what I'm. Okay, we're gonna leave that conversation alone.
Read the comment, buddy. Read the comment, buddy.
Shit, the motherfucker is small print.
The small print.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can,
Coming up in the streets got us all messed up, got us reprogrammed, our thoughts, our process, and see that our kids, our grandkids, which is the future and the new way of thinking and not moving through a new life or something like that. I can barely see it.
It says it. This
And
is
not
what it
moving
said.
through life or something?
It says
Yeah, through life.
coming up. Listen, it says coming up in the streets got us all messed up. We got to reprogram our thoughts process and see that our kids / grandkids, which is the future, have a new way of thinking and moving through life, which is true. And that's where I go back to breaking the cycle. You feel what I'm saying?
I ain't as hard as I was on my first kids, though. You know?
Correct. You kind of see what I'm saying? As times change, your thought process is going to change. The way you raise your kids change. A lot of other stuff and everything. Okay, prime example. I'm going to give you a prime example because he's right here. I think my spouse is militant on his kids. He got 2 boys. And sometimes I be like, damn, nigga, like, give him a chance. Like, you feel what I'm saying? And all this other stuff. Fuck that. We didn't, like, you know what I'm saying? His mind is, fuck that. When we was growing up, we was we told him get it out the way and all this other stuff and everything else. But times has changed. Like, you can't be that hard on, like, you feel what I'm saying? Let them.
Yes, you can. That's why all you need is that.
Yes. 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 Matter of fact,
what I said.
matter of fact, if we are as tough on our kids as our parents was on us, we wouldn't have a motherfucker running up with a gun, pulling pistols and all. You'll have a lot more fighting, and then instead of motherfuckers dying.
Hey, cat, they got Instagram movies.
Shut up, Boogie.
You'll have a motherfucker run up on somebody and slap the shit out of him instead of shooting him in his fucking face. If we were more harder on our kids like we was back in the days.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think, I don't know. At some point, it's.
You know, y'all conversation, but you keep putting it on mail. And my mama talked to you.
No, I'm not putting it on males.
No, the conversation like he do is the generation. He talked, his daddy taught him that, and then
He said. Oh yeah, no. What I'm saying.
That's
okay.
right. You tell her, Darius.
Huh?
Tell her.
Darius, who the fuck is Darius?
Oh, I thought
You just calling out names, nigga. You stupid.
What the fuck?
that nigga gonna beat your ass. Who the fuck is Darius?
Yeah, nigga, I'm still on Darius. Who the fuck is Darius?
Don't try to play it off, Tiffany.
Listen. No, see, you sound like him now. Now you got him all that side nigga, huh? And all this other
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he said that's my nigga when I'm in Inglewood, huh? Yeah, Darius, whoever the fuck Darius is. You know
Yeah,
what
the
I'm saying?
nigga that be at the functions. You know who it is.
Yeah.
Hey,
Darius.
you're right to sleep in that house tonight. It's gonna be
I'm going to sleep. Trust me. I'm going to sleep. I don't be sitting my whole kid. Trust me.
motherfucker this
Listen.
going on tonight.
I be in my house before. Listen, even when I do go to functions, I'm in my house before 12 o'clock midnight. So if it is a side nigga, he only see me when I'm in the streets because I come home every night and go to sleep.
Right. I know that's
Shit,
right.
every night and come to sleep.
That's
Fuck
right.
all that spending the night out and all that. I like the comfort of my motherfucking bed. So, and all that other shit. But anyway, but no, I understand what you're saying, buddy. I mean, I understand what everybody's saying. But at sometimes it's like us black women, we get tired. We want to break. We need, like, you know, to be able to show our emotions sometimes without being like, you feel what I'm saying, that we have to be strong all the time. We get tired. And that's my main thing I'm saying. Allow your, and I get it. Allow your daughter to cry and everything else. If she's outside, she fell, give her 5 minutes. Okay, baby, get back up and let's go. Like, you feel what I'm saying? and all that other
And
stuff.
I told her, I just told her, I mean, I don't know if we got any white audience. I told her, I said, Mommy, get back up and dust yourself off them white people looking at you. Because they was in the car looking. I
Yeah,
said, Mommy, get back up, dust yourself off them white people looking at you.
yeah, but I get what you're saying, but you should at least give her a hug, be like, okay, I got you, let's go. Like that's all I'm saying.
I ain't
Still
giving no
show
hug.
her, huh?
I ain't giving no hug. Actually, if you go to my Instagram, I recorded it.
I don't listen.
I
I didn't see the
recorded it
photo.
laughing at her. Like, she fell, she hit the pole. I heard it go boom.
No, I seen you guys on the scooters, but I didn't see y'all like, on the whole her falling and everything else. All I'm showing is that's fine. You allow her to cry, you allow her to do this, you allow her to do that. But after she fell, when you told her to get up, okay, that's enough. You should have hugged her and be like, okay, let's keep going. Just so she can have that comfort, buddy. That's
I ain't
all
giving her no goddamn comfort.
I'm done with the conversation.
Get
Raise
your
your
crybaby ass up.
Okay.
All right,
It
well,
is
go
what
ahead
it
and go. It's been 2 hours. You go ahead and close it out with your 4 hours. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead and close it out. I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was a trigger.
Before we get out of here, y'all might get a little comedy. Goddamn it, y'all know how we do. We let it
Yeah, no, but
Go
for
ahead.
real.
I didn't know that was one of your triggers. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you stupid. No, for real though. The main thing about tonight is mental health in the Black community. Go talk to somebody. If you need help, ask. If you feel like you feel what I'm saying, you're overwhelmed, you're this and that, do your research. If you're scared to go talk to somebody, or if you don't want to go talk to nobody, get a journal. Start writing shit down. After you finish writing it down, rip it up or burn it. Like, just get it out of you. Stop suppressing. Stop holding everything in. Stop trying to take on the world by yourself, because we all have issues. We all need help, and we need to do better as coming together as a family and as a community. Stop let's trying to be better than this person, or scared about how somebody's going to judge you and everything else. Let's just come together as one, as a Black community, when it comes to mental health, because we need it. We need it.
Hey, that's real talk though.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was reading the comment. I'm sorry.
I am too.
Like, where the fuck? Like, where the fuck did that even come from? Like,
hey man,
we were talking about something totally fucking different.
You trying to get the funnies going before we get out of here? You know what I'm saying?
The cool thing about it is he's telling the truth. That's what I crazy. That's what I. But see, that's your weak mommy right there, buddy. He got you. That's your weak mommy. When you're getting choked, nigga, because you're helpless. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Oh, I ain't helpless. I ain't helpless. You know what I mean? Shit. Like a snake. When a snake eat, that's when the snake is helpless, because he got something in his throat. He can't do nothing, right? Just because she choking me, that don't mean I'm helpless. I can still punch the shit out of her.
You know what? Listen, because I got to go get my daughter from work. This is what I'm saying. Get help. Seek help. Your conscious, your subconscious, do what's right. The times are different. Do what's best for you and your family. But at the same time, be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of when you really do need help. Be aware of when you're going down a slippery slope and you feel like you're down and out. Go talk to somebody, write it out, do something. Stop being afraid to ask for help. Stop repeating the cycle, verbally abusing your kids, your grandkids, because of what we had to do and all this other stuff. Just get help. Just get help. That's a big thing in our community. Go get help. Seek help. It's okay to ask for help. You feel what I'm saying? It's okay to ask for help.
That's real.
Okay. And with that being said, y'all have a good night.
Take us out there, bro.
See y'all next Monday.
Yeah, next Monday. What y'all got next Monday, man? What y'all got?
We'll figure it out. We'll text back and forth.
Y'all want to talk about Tory Lanez getting that 23?
Shit,
Man,
we pretty late on that though. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to say, if we talk about Tory Lanez, we got to go live Wednesday, because by the time we go back next Monday, it's gonna be old news.
Well, I try to get
No.
y'all on as many times as we can, you know what I'm saying? But you know, y'all be having things to do. You know. Tiffany
I
got
don't.
having some things to do tonight. She got some explaining to do about
I don't got
that.
shit to listen. I'm gonna tell you just like this, and he can hear everything I'm motherfucking saying. If it is a motherfucking Darius somewhere, nigga, like you feel what I'm saying? Darius would have been knocked on my door, would have been paying some bills and everything else and all that other shit. You
There's
feel what I'm
put
saying?
that comment up. No, I ain't gonna put that comment up. There's trying to say something now.
No, don't do it. Don't.
I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. Look at Tiffany.
Look, she quiet in the motherfucker. She wait
I'm
till
trying to see what y'all see.
We don't see a
What's the
goddamn
comment?
she
thing. We
she
don't-
trying to go to the comments and see what Darius said. Look. Hey, I'll holler at you, Brad.
Hey, man. Peace and elbow peace, man. We love y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all coming on here with us tonight, man. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, big dog.
Moments, man. Love you, bro.
All right, love you, big dog.
Man, we probably come back on Wednesday, y'all. Check for us.
All right.